So the Democrat lunatics thought by not funding TSA that we're not going to get coverage at the airports. And of course, just like the Epstein files, joke's on you. Trump announced in Truth Social a couple minutes ago that if they still plan and not sign the bill to fund TSA, he'll just send ICE to the floor. ICE is part of our big beautiful bill. They've been funded for the next 2 years. Why not put him to work? You don't want him in the streets. So now, instead of ICE going to floor, places to places, we just stick at the airport and just pick them up from there. What a double shot. With that, I say, Truck Schumer, Akeem Jeffrey, take your time.
With respect, if you're doing this in 24 hours, how well thought out could it possibly be?
Again, ICE has been at airports across the country for a long time. It's just expanding those things. Look, it doesn't. How much of a plan does it mean to guard an exit to make sure no one comes through that exit? I mean, we're talking about security options, and these officers are well trained in security, and they're well trained in identification. And look, we're going to do what we can to help TSA move those people through the line.
And
ICE can check identification before people enter the screening area, right? And we're trying to release TSA resources to get to positions that they really need expertise in, like the X-ray screening. So we're going to be a force multiplier.
What's going on, everybody? I appreciate you guys pulling up. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, Trump is standing on business, and shout out to Tom Homan as well, because the checkmate, the Trump card that is, has been presented. So TSA is being deployed to airports all across the country, especially the major airports. And then you'd have people at CNN like Dana Bash ask, well, what is TSA going to do? Well, or what ICE is going to do. ICE can actually handle the exits. They can stand guard at all the exits where normally TSA agents would stand. They can stand there. So those that do pull up, they can work checking the identifications, doing the scanning, checking the scanning, as people kind of go through and check their, bags that they're going to bring in, or that they're going to have on board an aircraft, so forth and so on, so they can consolidate and say, hey, ICE is going to handle everything that's going that has to do with security when people exit the airport. The TSA agents now are going to be concentrated on when people pull up. That's going to help out tremendously. Now, my hopes is that this thing comes to a conclusion very quickly, because Elon Musk has come out there and said that he's willing to pay for the TSA agents. Mainstream media don't like that, and neither does Bernie Sanders. He's not a big fan of it either, and neither is any of the Democrats, because they're like, wait, one of the world's richest men is willing to pay for these people so they can get things moving and get business moving at the airports as usual? Interesting. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot to get into. Lego.
Lawmakers, listen, we're not Republicans, we're not Democrats, we're not independents. We're just people that come to work every day to do our job. And all we expect you guys to do is do your job. Pay us for what we do. That's all we're asking. Passengers, listen, we're going to do our job. We're going to be professional. We're going to get you through as fast as possible. There might be some delays. Here at DCA, we have a wonderful team. We're doing our job. We're doing our part. So listen, work with us, and we're going to work with you guys.
Hey, shout out to this brother showing professionalism. Now, for those of you guys that aren't familiar, DCA, that's the Reagan National Airport, Washington Reagan National Airport right outside of DC. It's actually located in the Arlington, Virginia area, right there on the border of DC. And shout out to them, man, because this brother is continuing to go to work, although he's missed 2 paychecks going on 3. But he's still handling business, still showing up, still handling things in a professional manner, obviously articulated himself very well, and put DC on notice. Both Republicans and Democrats, y'all need to get y'all heads out of y'all behinds, and y'all need to get this figured out, especially the Democrats. Especially when we know, and we talked about this earlier today, when we know that ICE is funded for the next 4 years at least. We know this. So the people that aren't getting paid right now is people that are a part of Department of Homeland Security. That's TSA, that's the Secret Service, that's the U.S. Coast Guard, and I believe there's one other that I'm missing right now, and I can't think of it what it is off the top of my head. But if you know, drop it down in the comment section for me below. Yeah, take care of these people. I got to keep saying it, man, because TSA, they don't make a lot of money. They don't make a lot of money. It takes 4 to 6 months to get someone through the training process at TSA. These people earn anywhere from $45,000 to $65,000 a year on average. And then obviously there's a little bit of cost of living allowance depending on where you are in the country. I would assume that people at DCA probably make a little more than those that are down south. But still, these aren't upper echelon earners. These are average everyday Americans earning what average everyday Americans earn. They shouldn't be held hostage by our politicians. They shouldn't be.
Took care of 110 people for lunch today. Fed us all.
Welcome back to part 4 of my Lunch on Me series, and today I teamed up with Cuts and Slices in Queens and we pulled up on TSA at LaGuardia Airport. We really too nice. First, we want to say shout out to TSA for still showing up for work every day. We know it's tough right now, so to make it extra special, we made a pizza that nobody could get at none of the locations. Berea pizza. When I say 20 out of 10, I will recommend.
I don't know about you guys, man, but if you've ever had a Berea taco, oh my goodness, phenomenal. These people made a Berea pizza. Never heard of such a thing, but I would definitely love a slice.
We let the Berea marinate overnight. I was at the Queens location at 7 o'clock to get the pizza right. Well, I ain't really get it right. You know, like Cuts and Slices know how to do it better than me, but we got it right. And look.
Shout out to TSA, man, LaGuardia.
Yes, sir. That's how we do, man.
Uh-huh. Let me know if we should add that to the menu.
Good ass spicy hit you. Hold on.
It's giving very much Berea.
Nice and seasoned.
Uh-huh.
We just appreciate the food because, you know, we can't afford no food right now. We're not getting paid.
I know. We really appreciate you guys. Chef Duran with the Berea. Come on. We teamed up. Got y'all a Berea. We might have to drop this. Yeah.
Yo, that's awesome, man. That is awesome, man. I appreciate the fact that you have people, Americans. That just goes to show you, you know, how thoughtful, how respectful Americans are. When we see fellow Americans in need, we are willing to show up and show out for those people. And wherever you are in the country, if you have the ability to donate to the food banks, to donate, to TSA or something along those lines, feel free to do so. Please, God loves a cheerful giver. Be willing to give. So many of us are waiting on God to go and do what we should be doing. What we should be doing, right? The word says, hey, we are supposed to be our brother's keeper. We're the ones that are supposed to step up and fill in the gaps. Too many people waiting on someone else to do something that we can do ourselves, man. If you have the ability to do it, man, jump out there and help, man.
I do believe if you pushed me between one or the other, I would say it's the Democrats who have marginalized the TSA agents in this instance. And I think it's horrible, the way in which they've been used, the TSA agents, as pawns. I flew twice this week and without incident. So it's not like I'm experiencing what they're experiencing in Atlanta and elsewhere. But I took a look at the dynamic. These are the people who are literally on the front line of protecting the country. Think Richard Reed, the shoe bomber. Number two, it's a very dank work environment. Would you do that job? Would you stand there for hours on end and that would be your employment? And three, they don't do it for much money. My so-called intern, Eric X, had the best idea. There ought to be a bucket at the front of every line right before you go through the conveyor belt. We all throw in a $5 and make sure that these people are covered and that they get to whack that up. Nobody would call in sick. Nobody. That would be such a great message for Washington, too. Like, you can keep screwing around. We, the American people, we're going to take care of these people. That's how it ought to end. And kudos to Elon Musk for being willing to write a check as well. I just think it's terrible and such a sign of our government dysfunction.
He's absolutely right. Our government is so dysfunctional. And the thing is that this is all that the Democrat Party has. This is all that they have. Oh, we'll just shut it down and we will cause the American people harm. AOC came out and said, hey, we have to cause them so much harm that they don't have a choice but to support and vote for us. She came out of her mouth and said that. We didn't send them, or we didn't push them to the brinks of going through entirely too much pain. That's what she said. And I would assume, based off of what we're experiencing right now, this is what's happening with the Democrat Party right now. And I'm with him. Hey, if they would have dropped a tip jar or, a tip bucket or something along those lines outside, of TSA when you got a chance to walk through, I would have donated some money. I would have donated some money to these folks. I understand what they do. It's a tough gig. There's, some of them are sitting, but a lot of them, they're standing up for 8 to 9, 10 hours a day. The air doesn't circulate that well in these locations. It's hot. It's stinky. You're dealing with crazy people. You're dealing with folks with bad attitudes. You're dealing with people that don't know how to follow in simple instructions. Y'all know y'all people. You know Americans, some of them, unfortunately, they don't know how to follow instructions. Take your shoes off, put your shoes on. They don't know. Hey, take your laptop out your bag. They just don't understand it. These people are dealing with some of the craziest and some of the worst in some fairly tough environments. Yeah, I'm good with it. Drop a bucket out there so we can tip these folks. Seriously, I'm good with that. Hit that collection plate.
So the shutdown continues. The Republican Party's not going to pay $1.5 trillion to illegal immigrants coming into our country, coming in for a lot of reasons, coming in from prisons, from jails, from all over the place, from Venezuela, many countries. We're not going to do that. So the shutdown continues. It's a Democrat shutdown. It's a Schumer shutdown because his career has failed and it's over. I met with President Zelensky, as you know, today.
Look, Congresswoman, Tom Homan was up on the Hill negotiating, trying to get this bill passed in the Senate. You've seen the White House give on lots of things, cameras, identification on ICE. The White House has given and given and given. Fact of the matter is, Chuck Schumer is just a chicken shit, I'll say it, because he's concerned that he's not going to be the majority leader, doesn't want to pass anything that doesn't just blow up ICE. And so that's why we're stuck here. It's not anything to do. Everybody knows what has to be done. Chuck Schumer won't allow it to be done in the Senate, and that's where we are. American people, call the Senate, complain to Chuck Schumer, tell him to pass the bill now.
Yeah. Call the Senate. Find your senator's information. It's all public knowledge. And start reaching out. Call Chuck Schumer. Blow his daggone phone up. Blow it up until they pass this daggone bill to get these people paid for. This is ridiculous. But again, this is all they have. Chuck Schumer's on his last leg. He knows it. He's on his way out the door. But at the same time, it will be another person in his shoes that will do the same foolishness. What I need people to realize is that the Democrats do not mean us well, and we cannot forget that when the midterms come in November. We cannot allow the House nor the Senate to flip. And if anything, we need to flip more seats to the Republican Party. We need 7 more seats in the Senate. And at that point, we can really do whatever. Not just the Democrats coming out and saying that, oh, the Republicans got the House, the Supreme Court, and the daggone Senate. No, we need 60 votes in the Senate. And that needs to happen ASAP. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts about any of this? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family. Buy your brother a coffee. Or you can support the channel via Cash App. Shout out to Nisi. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to you guys for supporting what we're doing over here via Cash App. God bless you guys so much, man. I thank you guys so much for supporting what we're doing over here at ARP. Join us Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. It is crazy out here in these streets. And we'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, He gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. In the Lord hit my chest, kicked death from my breath, put power in my step.